I was wondering if other streamers are compensated monetarily, or this is some more voluntary work for them. The way that streaming generally works in YouTube is that you just collab on each other's channels. There's no money exchanged. And the understanding is that if, you know, Pete wants me to join something, it's an immediate yes. Like, no question about it. Pete helps me out a bunch, you know, I'm there. Same with, like, you know, Ludwig. I go to LA for so many things, and I always want to join Ludwig stuff. And then, you know, if I'm like, hey, Ludwig, I'm doing this thing once a year, would you mind joining? He's like, all right, I'll be there. And then anything that, like, they need expense, they just charge me at the end of it, and I just pay for it. So it's kind of YouTube's always been like that, and Twitch generally is, and that's generally how you want it to be, because if you start having to discuss who gets paid how much for what, that's normally how stuff goes downhill. At least when you're with friends, at least. You know what I mean? Like, the quickest way to ruin friendships is to start discussing how much you're going to pay each other, I think. Unless there's, like, a very simple answer to it. It's always having fun things let around because it's an interesting way of seeing things. Yeah, I think we had a really good dynamic. This time we didn't have guests. The main reason we didn't have guests this time is that I was really worried because logistically it's very tough to lock someone down to come to the middle of nowhere. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to just see how it goes with no guests to really, like, allow everyone to kind of like lean into the dynamics that were being made. And I think it worked. I think it worked a little better, I think. I felt like I liked that we just got 4 days to just banter with the same people. And I think 4 was more than enough. I think 5 at times is too much. So I think it was good. And I'm really happy that I made the RV trip 4 days instead of 5. Because everyone was dead on the 4th day. Everyone was like, I think day 3 was the limit that everyone had, where it was like, all right, I got 1 more in me, and that's it. Whereas I think if you know there's 5, you're going to be a lot more reserved. So 4 was perfect. I think 4 worked out nicely. You wish it was 10? In an ideal world, I would love for it to be nothing, like, that would be my entire content. Like, I would be doing nothing but cyclothons and RV trips. Like, that would be my #1, like, content I would make if I could. Because that's, for me, I think my content, my streaming content at least, is at its best when I'm just hanging out with my friends and just doing cool shit. And letting, like, banter just flow. Let the banter flow. But, you know, to make 4 days of action-packed content with a bunch of crew and making everything seamless, well, mostly seamless, it takes a lot of planning and work. Because this is like 3 months of work. This is like a ton of prep that goes into this. So it you know, and the more work you add on top, the more expensive the project becomes, and the more pressure that gets added to it, right? But overall, I really liked it. And the crew was goated as always. The crew crushed it. You seem to be in your element in those streams. Yeah, I mean, it's what I like, right? Like, that's how I've always envisioned that content. The problem is that if I only streamed when it was that type of content, you guys wouldn't see me much. I also like the chatting. I like streaming. I think that's the advantage of Twitch, is that on YouTube there is almost a punishment system sometimes where if you make one amazing video and the next video is not amazing, you suffer for that. But on Twitch, there's almost no downside to having an amazing stream followed by like a meh stream, which is kind of what today's going to be. It's just going to be just chatting and then like a little bit of factory.